Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm privileged to welcome an accomplished musician and filmmaker with a deep understanding of some of our scriptures for the second time from Gurgaon, India, Mr. Sanjay Talwar. Sanjay ji, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ashutosh ji. It's a pleasure to be back again with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sanjay ji is a musician and a filmmaker. He's the managing trustee of the Immaculate Ideal Human Foundation, which is an NGO. He's also a lifelong practitioner of the Sahaj Yoga meditation. Sanjay has remained closely connected with his mentor and guru, Her Holiness Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. His debut film, Grihalakshmi, The Awakening, has received several awards. His second Bollywood production, Mahalakshmi Path, The Evolution, in October 2023, has so far received approximately 78 national and international film awards. And today, we're going to focus on his understanding of the seven chakras and Sahaj Yoga. So, Sanjay ji, let's go straight to the topic. And can you explain what chakras are and what is their role in our bodies?
Okay, Ashutosh ji. Yes, thank you for this question. But before I start, I just update you. The number of awards the Mahalakshmi Path has received is now crossed 96.
My goodness,
And
congratulations.
the movie is now being released. Yes, thank you. And the movie is being released today in the OTT platform called Video Jar
Okay.
in over 300 countries. We
Wow.
beamed for free for everybody to watch.
Wow. And which OTT platform will this be on?
It's called Video Jar.
Videojar.
VDOJAR. So one has
Okay.
to download the app and then one can start watching the movie. It's on
Okay.
since 12 a.m. this morning.
Wonderful. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. So yeah, coming back to the question. So all I have to say is that everybody knows there's an ancient knowledge in our scriptures about chakras and about yoga and meditation, which is everybody does that. And so in Sahaj Yoga, why is it so different? That is because, first of all, we must know what are these chakras. A very basic question, which everybody may not know.
Yeah.
So I'll just run through quickly.
Yes, please.
So these chakras are situated on the central channel of our nervous system. So the nervous system, as you know, has two splits. One is the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system in medical jargon.
Yeah.
So the chakras are in the parasympathetic, which is the Brahma Nadi, the central channel, also known as the Sushumna Nadi. As if you have read about it in the scriptures, there is the basic knowledge of our subtle body. Actually, it's a subtle body. It cannot be seen except when doctors want to test you, then they know this is from parasympathetic and this is from sympathetic. So the sympathetic represents the left and right side of our functioning of our body, as well as our nervous system. The left side is the area where the Shakti, Mahakali, it operates from there is our desire power, and the right side is the Maha Saraswati, which is the action part. And so left side represents the subconscious, and the right side is the supraconscious. So we are aware of these jargons, but we must know in what context I have to tell you this. Because when we come to the central path, which is the Brahmanadi, which is also the path of evolution, right? And the Sushumna Nadi, in the Sushumna Nadi, at the base of the spine, there exists a bone called the sacrum bone. And in our scriptures, they call it as the Muladhara, which is the root.
Yeah.
The root and base of the spine, the tip of this base, is the sacrum, where lies the Kundalini, the Shakti, which is born when we were in our mother's womb in 6 weeks. And this comes with a chakras which are already part of us in our previous lives, which is like a tape recording that has come within us at the time of birth, and it is in a somnambulent sleeping state. And it is coiled in 3.5. And that is why it is called Kundalini, and it is lying in the isosceles upside down triangle of the sacrum bone.
Right.
That is why it is called the sacred, the sacred part of our body,
Right.
where it is sitting. And underneath is the chakra, the first chakra, which protects it. It's called the Muladhara chakra.
Right.
So the reigning deity of that chakra is Lord Ganesha. We are all connected, see, with all these great gods and goddesses.
Correct.
That we are always praying to for our well-being. But basically, they are all part of our central nervous system in the Sushumna Nadi. And this chakra is the root chakra, which is connected to the earth element. And this also represents the swastika, right? And it is the starting point of our left side called the Ida Nadi. And this is represented by the coral stone, the red color, and planet Mars. And it is physically manifested in the form of a Swayambhu. And the country that represents in this world, this chakra, is Australia. Now, I'm actually gone so much into detail, but this you need to check out.
Yeah.
Now, this comes with experiential, learning. So why I've given so much time to this chakra, almost 5 minutes, is because it is the most important chakra.
Correct.
It manifests again in our central nervous system later on as the sixth chakra, which is called the Agnya chakra. So I have suddenly jumped from the first to the sixth just to let you know that this chakra manifests again. And so now I'll come to the second chakra, which is called the Swadhisthana chakra. The Swadhisthana chakra is actually our aortic plexus in the medical jargon. So the first chakra had 4 petals. I forgot to mention. It controls our reproductory and excretory organs. It controls our memory, our emotional balance, our qualities like innocence, wisdom, purity, and joy. And all this is within this chakra that can be awakened.
Right.
This is the part of Sahaja Yoga which is very important to be understood. Then, as I come to the second chakra, which is the Swadhisthana chakra, it is above the first chakra on the central nervous system. So it's like the next ladder upwards. As we go up the spine, these chakras are above each other. So the second chakra, as I said, is the aortic plexus, and its deity, reigning deity, is Lord Brahma, the Lord of creation, and his power Saraswati, the element of knowledge and music and creativity within us. And its element is it's fire. The stone is amethyst. Its planet is Mercury, and its symbol is star. And this chakra has the ability to rotate around our navel area called the Nabhi, forming a circle around us called the void, which is also called the Bhavsagar.
Okay.
And this chakra rotates, and it has the ability to express pure desire to get whatever we want in life. Okay. So these are the aspects of chakras which are not known in other forms of meditation.
Correct. Absolutely.
And yoga. Wherein Sahaj Yoga, it is so nicely explained. And so this is the seat of knowledge. All the knowledge that comes within you emanates from this chakra.
Yeah.
So you can imagine when this chakra opens, all these aspects in you unfurl, and they can give you a great personality.
Absolutely.
And powers.
Yeah.
So the next chakra above that is the Nabhi chakra, which is in the center of the navel. It is called the solar plexus. Its seat is in the umbilical area.
Yeah.
And its relationship with our life is for our survival. So our jobs, our family relations, everything.
Yeah.
It is 10 petals. Its stone is emerald, and its element is water. And its sitting deity is Lord Vishnu, and his consort Lakshmi, the Devi. And so the Lakshmi is the one who grants you contentment in life, right? So the right side is represented by your being able to make money or spend it prudently. And the left side is when it manages the home. The Lakshmi, she becomes the Graha Lakshmi. And so it binds the family together, it looks after its relations, and it brings happiness and joy in family life. That is where this chakra becomes so predominantly important in a man's daily life. So in the center of the navel, it represents the place where Lord Vishnu lies down and his consort is there, Lakshmi, on a lotus. And she is granting everything. And so Vishnu represents our evolution. So he evolves in 10 avatars. And this is where the starting point of evolution starts from our Nabhi. And this Swadhisthana chakra, which encircles this Nabhi chakra around creating a Bhavsagar, actually creates an ocean of illusion in which we live today. And this Bhavsagara is represented by those 10 elements, which are nothing but 10 incarnations that came in different times of life. Now, I'll name some of these incarnations. They are Moses, Zoroaster, Confucius, Lao Tse, Socrates, Muhammad Sahib, Raja Janak, Guru Nanak, Shirdi Sainath, and Ibrahim. And these are the real masters who were actually incarnations of Adi Guru Dattatreya. So it is called our Guru Tattva, the seat of Dharma within us. So when we are dharmic or when we are under control and we don't go out of bounds, both being pulled on the left of the subconscious or on the right of the supraconscious, when we are staying in our balance in the center, that is the time when we become automatically dharmic. We do not make mistakes and we follow the lifestyle of these great seers and gurus that have come. So this is called our Guru Tattva also. Now, very nicely, I think I brought you up to a point where I come to the diaphragm. And in the diaphragm is sitting our attention, which is always looking downwards, towards our well-being and our life. And all the things that we do in our life. That's where our attention is all the time. But as we go up, there is the fourth chakra, which is the Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra. This Anahata chakra is actually part of the cardiac plexus. And it is situated behind the sternum bone. It has the ability to create antibodies to fight diseases and negativity. It has 12 petals. It has a symbol of the flame. The stone is ruby. The color is red. And the sitting deity on the left is Lord Shiva, the one who is the observer, the one who is the witness. And his consort Parvati, who is nothing but the reincarnation of Lakshmi. So see how it is all molded together. And I'll explain this to you as we go further. But the left side is also represented by the spirit, where our Atma resides. And it is supposed to be a function of God watching human life go. It only watches. It does nothing. It doesn't think. It's very, very interesting. And the right side is represented by our ability to be a good king, a good management, managing our lives in a perfect way. I mean, we are like Lord Rama and his consort Sita. That is where it's lying on the right side. The controlling organs it has as the lungs. So I'm not telling you all about the organs because these plexuses are all connected to our various organs in the same area as we are going up. Then comes the fifth chakra, which is the Vishuddhi chakra, which is at the base of the neck. Or the It is called the cervical plexus. It has got 16 petals. Its stone is sapphire, the color is blue, and the symbol is the wheel of time. And it is represented by deity called Lord Krishna, who is the evolutionary part of Lord Vishnu. Like first he came as Ram, Then he came as Krishna and his Shakti or the consort Radha.
Yes.
And his great ability to become a witness, to be a great communicator, to show us what is responsibility, how we can uphold values and righteousness in our living.
Well
So
said.
all these qualities are embedded in the Vishuddhi Chakra. This is from where we communicate to the world and how we can be so sweet and we can sing songs and we can represent the Shakti of the Saraswati and the ability of the heart. So about the heart, I wanted to say, it has got love, it has got compassion, it has got generosity. So where does it come from? The blessings of the Lakshmi, from the Navi, and Radha, as well as Lord uh, Shiva's consort, that is Parvati. So all these are intermingled Shaktis within us, and how they are related to each other, I've just explained to you within the complexity of the chakras. And so as we go up, we come up to the optic chiasma. Now here the Ida and the Pingala, the three left and the right side of the sympathetic nervous system meet in the middle of the brain. It's called the optic chiasma. And at that point, there is this very small gate, which they call in the Christian language is the gateway to heaven. And at this point lies our deity called Lord Jesus Christ, who's nobody but the reincarnation of Vishnu after Krishna. And he is also known as the reincarnation of Lord Ganesha as Mahaganesha, which is all found in the Vishnu Puran. You can read in the Vishnu Puran, it's all there. And there he controls this gate. And if you forgive, if you really forgive, this gate opens. Now, why are we going through these chakras? We are going through these chakras because the sleeping Kundalini, which is at the base of the spine, born within us, is waiting to be awakened. Its qualities are that of the all-pervading
Correct.
power of God. So the minute you express a desire that the Kundalini being awakened, this rises through the chakra. It manages them so beautifully that you come into the balance on the center instead of being on the left or the right. You are like a completely balanced human being. And the minute it reaches the Agnya, it opens the gateway to heaven, which is on the Sahasrara, which is this seventh and the last chakra. This has got 1000 petals. It is also called as the Brahmarandra, and it has got the seat of the heart. So the heart is represented again like Ganesha represented in the sixth
In the
chakra.
eye, the
Our
Agnya
heart
chakra.
on the fourth chakra is represented on the Sahasrara. And in the center of the heart, I forgot to mention, is the Durga, the Jagadamba. So how are these great deities and these, the powers of the Shakti, how they are intermingling to form the Shakti of our chakras and the witness power of these great uh, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. All three of them combined together are part of our central nervous system, or called the subtle system. This is the whole knowledge of the chakras in Sahaj Yoga, that once the Kundalini crosses the Agnya and comes out of the Sahasrara, it actually meets the all-pervading power of God's love, which has created the whole world. And when you meditate in Sahaj Yoga, in front of Mother's photo, because Mother has given us this simple knowledge, and we believe that she is the incarnation of the Shakti who has come on this earth in modern times to give us this knowledge that once we meditate before her photograph, we are able to open the Sahasrara and all the energy of God's love, which is outside, which we were not connected before. It starts falling within our central nervous system. It enters our Sushumna, it enters our Ida, it enters our Pingala, and we can feel it as cool vibrations on our hands and cool vibrations on top of the head. And that is the culmination of our doing Sahaj Yoga meditation. I'm sorry, I've been very
No, I mean, I think
long.
this has been an absolutely incredible explanation of the seven chakras. But Sanjayji, we often speak about awakening a chakra, and you've also spoken about it. How does an individual realize that their chakras are blocked or imbalanced, and how can this imbalance be corrected through an awakening?
Yeah. So if God made such a beautiful instrument and scientifically told us how things are placed and what qualities are inside there, obviously He is going to give us some means to decipher where do we stand with our chakras. Now, in our hands and on our feet and also in our head, there are indicators, what we say. That the minute you, first of all, the thing is that we have a tendency to be too much on the left, which is we think too much of the past, or we are very futuristic, we are too overactive. So both of these things shift our pendulum away from the central path, which is the place where the Kundalini is supposed to rise. So once we have to do is the practice of becoming thoughtlessly aware. How do we become thoughtlessly aware is when the Kundalini, you express a desire to raise your Kundalini, it crosses through the chakras and it starts to manifest those chakras by pulling you from the left and the right to the center, and you become balanced. The minute you become balanced, your energy points in your hands, which are represented, all the chakras are represented in your fingers. So if I have to tell you one chakra of the left, that is the left side of that chakra, and the right side of the chakra, both can be felt on your fingers, whether the left side or the right side.
Well said.
Or if you're very sensitive, it can be felt on your head, or it can be felt on your feet. Even on the other parts of the body are represented, these chakras are represented there. So when you are in the center, when you are meditating and when you're thoughtless, at that time, when you feel the vibrations, these vibrations start indicating to you what is wrong with which chakra. So if I have to tell you how the chakras are connected to your palms, your hands, then I would say, the forefinger is your Vishuddhi chakra. Your middle finger is your Nabhi chakra. Right. Your little finger is your Agnya chakra, left and the right. Right. And the small finger, the ring finger, is your heart chakra. The thumb is your Swadhisthana chakra.
Wow.
The middle center of your palm is your void. And the absolute center of the palm is your Sahasrara chakra.
Amazing.
And this part of your palm is your Ganesh Tattva, which is the Mooladhara chakra. So the minute you are off balance in any of these chakras, they start giving indicators. How? It starts burning. It starts giving blisters. It starts giving you pain. It gives you any kind of an indication in your hands, if you're sensitive on your feet, and if you're really sensitive on your head, because they are like pithas sitting on the head. So all the chakras are represented within us as those places where we can immediately decipher when we are in meditation what's wrong with our chakra. But without being in central meditation and not being in balance, we cannot decipher.
Amazing.
That is the point. So we have to first do basic meditation. Is to become thoughtlessly aware.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. My next question for you is there any scientific evidence that supports the benefits of Sahaj Yoga on physical and mental health?
Yes, long back when Shri Mataji started Sahaj Yoga, first time declaring that this is actually psychosomatic. Diseases are all psychosomatic. So they create an imbalance in our in the sympathetic nervous system. So once the parasympathetic, which is the central channel, gets activated, the sympathetic automatically comes into a sort of a settlement balance. And once that happens, it was easy to record. So most of the universities in Delhi, US, Australia, Europe, and Russia, where all the studies happened since 1980 onwards. She started in 70. She started giving us all the feelers and indicators, what scientific meaning it has in our life. Then all the doctors went and did PhD programs. They were able to actually map the brain, and they could, from normal people not meditating and people meditating, they could easily say that the brain waves are much more balanced and steady than in those where the brain waves are distorted.
Very interesting.
And distortion means chaos. Chaos means, you're getting pulled left and right. Correct. So this is going to cause psychosomatic diseases. And diseases come because of that. So when you are in meditation, you actually can get rid of all your disease. And these studies have been done. I'm not going to tell you which studies, because in Australia, there is a Dr. Manocha who's done it. There is a doctor in Spain who's still studying PhD. They're still serving doctors there. In US, in California, some university, they have got a PhD. In Delhi University, in mid 80s, Dr. Deepak Chuk got his, and Dr. UC Rai got their medical degrees, and they can prove it. It's all there. It's scientifically proved. It's been even recognized. Did you know that even Shimadaji at one time was recommended for the Nobel Peace Prize? She was recommended, though it didn't come to her. Unfortunately, this world is not so kind to people who are of great spiritual depth. But she has had the world recognition of having brought Sahaj Yoga into the day of a modern man's life. Because you see, all our scriptures are old. They're in Sanskrit.
Correct.
People go chanting mantras. But you know, mantras, even chanting mantras can even help you settle down your chakras.
Absolutely.
You have to be focused on the actual deity and the right way of chanting, not just anda dhun mala padte. That doesn't work.
Yeah, well said. My next question, I have time for a few more questions. How can balancing our chakras improve our decision making and emotional resilience?
Of course, it has been proved in the way we have been practicing since last 50 years now, 52 years, since it started, 54 years. And we have lots and lots of people who, when they were not meditating, and after meditation, they have found that there have been tremendous changes in their lives. You know, sometimes the other person sitting before you can tell you, my God, you know, you have changed so much. So what are these changes? These changes are, first is that the psychosomatic problems, they start when they start settling down. You don't get enough disease to bother you, first thing, because you meditate every day. So what is happening? When you're dealing in daily life, you're collecting all the dust. You see, when you're breathing also, you're collecting all the pollution of the world outside. So this is called mental, emotional pollution, where we are indulging in the left or the right of our life, and we rarely go into balance, and that is where the joy is. They say can be happiness, there can be sadness, but in joy, both are non-existent. You are there permanently in a state of stillness, silence, of meditation. So I don't know what your question really. I hope I have.
No, you have.
If you want to repeat the question, I'll try to.
No, so I said that how can balancing the chakras improve one's decision making and emotional resilience?
Yes. So here we are. When we meditate, we balance the chakras. So that is first important, is to do Sahaj Yoga meditation, right? So once you've got into a balance, the first thing that happens in your life is you become thoughtlessly aware. You have no thoughts, because thoughts is what brings you from the left and the right and bring you all these problems of mental and physical. So the minute you are thoughtless, you are in a state of stillness. And at that state, you have overcome most of the issues that are bombarding you, and your mental and your physical abilities all start to fall to correct you. You get into a wellness zone, a very good, excellent wellness zone. Nothing happens then. आपकी पेट की तकलीफें दूर हो जाती हैं, आपको mental stress चला जाता है. You are able to study better. Children are able to, concentrate better in their exams. They do very well. People in their jobs, they excel. People in their daily lives have become very self-corrective about using the 5 elements which are made up of our chakras. As I told you, there is an element which is predominant in every chakra. So obviously this element plays some part in clearing out that chakra. So we have to use all those techniques in Sahaj Yoga. That how do you clear out the Muladhara chakra? You sit in the ground, you use the Mother Earth. How you clear the Swadhisthana chakra? By using the water element. When you sit on water with salt water and you do foot soak, so it clears the lower chakras. Then how do you clear the Nabhi, the void chakra? You see, how is when you become generous, when you become, these are, so basically also trying to portray some good qualities of life. And you don't try, when you meditate, it sort of naturally starts flowing out of you.
Correct.
And you start getting into that state of correctness. Automatically, this happens in your life.
Well said. Well said. Time for one more question for you. And this is for the many, many people who will listen to our conversation. You know, it's been such an amazing understanding that you have given to all of us about the seven chakras. What daily habits, diet, or lifestyle choices or practices can enhance the functioning of our chakras?
Yes, that's a very good question. It's a question of effort making. You know, we say in Sahaj Yoga, it's effortless. Everything happens to you. You don't do anything. There is no effort on your part. So basically, in Sahaj Yoga, you surrender. You completely surrender to a higher power. You are not the doer. There is someone who has given you this birth. There's someone who's running this earth. And there is this someone who's going to guide you through your destiny. It's all written for you.
Yeah.
So you have to surrender to all that. And then you become one with nature. So how does nature keeps living continuously and keeps rejuvenating itself and coming back? And human being is that extra special person or an extra species God has made, that he can evolve, he can change the world, he can make life a better place to live in. And this is what Sahaja Yoga actually prepares us. Again, I want you to come back to your question. Have I answered anything or have I not?
No, you
Please
have.
ask me again.
You have. I'll ask you the question again. I think you've answered part of it.
Okay.
What daily habits, diet,
yes. Okay.
and
Yeah.
lifestyle choices
Okay.
or
So
practices can enhance the functioning of chakras?
So, yes, you know what I did. Everybody knows what is good for them, right? You don't overeat. You eat the right, अच्छे पदार्थ खाइए, have the right stuff. So left side, which makes you very lazy, you should not have products that make you lazy. You should have products that give you more energy, right? So right-sided products. Then there are left-sided products. And some are under the earth, which are left-sided. You know, so I can go to Lankibe, radish is the left-sided, muli, and gobi is above the earth. So all these have qualities. If we are able to understand our chakras so well, then all chakras have got certain habit making qualities for you to do. But we have our own habits.
Right.
We are born with habits. We are given our habits. We didn't know them. The chakras, what the chakras are. But the minute you're accustomed to the chakras, then you read about what are the good and the bad to do for every chakra. Then, like, when you use your lungs, you do deep breathing. So deep breathing is a good exercise because it helps you clear your central heart. Similarly, when you use light, you clear your Agya chakra because that element is light.
Correct.
So how do you use light in the proper way? Everything should be done in a balance. How you use water in your life, how you use earth in your life, all these 5 elements, they are all part of our consumption that makes habits in our lives. Then there are mental issues. We are used to getting angry. So why do you get angry? When you go into a balance, your anger disappears.
Correct.
Meditation makes you become less angry. If you're aggressive, you keep aggressing, hitting your wife or your son or child, or you're drinking too much, or you're having drugs, or you're having some sort of a bad habit, all that dissolves when you meditate. It goes away. If it has not gone, just know that you're not meditating properly. You have to, there are rules set in Sahaj Yoga also, what to do to keep your left side not to go to extreme, and what to do for your right side not to go to extreme, how to bring them into the central path, and then all your habits you can get rid of quickly.
Amazing.
We have seen cases where people have left smoking overnight. People have left drinking overnight. People have given up drugs. We have had cures, unbelievable cures, like cancer is cured, AIDS is cured, diabetes is cured, Swadhisthana chakra, which is our second chakra, it actually goes into so much turmoil because it controls our bile, it controls our organs there and on that part of the body, which is the liver, which is the kidneys. So what is happening when we are overthinking, when we are thinking too much? We are doing nothing. We are just making this, the spleen run so fast. And when the spleen runs fast, the liver has to give it, the energy. Now, where does the liver get its energy? From the brain. And the brain is running so fast. So all the energy is being sucked away into that particular organ, and that organ starts to develop problems. So what happens? The very big problem is cancer. Because it is connected to your left nabi and your left swadhisthana. And similarly, if you do foot soak, use the water element to cool down that fire within you, that energy, excess energy within you. And with foot soak alone, I have found my diabetes getting out. What is diabetes cause? Diabetes is again caused by the fast running of the spleen, the insulin is falling short because all the energy is being drawn from either the heart or the liver, or the kidneys are going haywire. So then you develop kidney issues. So there are so many medical. See, medical is a separate point. I can give you a doctor who can explain this to you better because I'm not a medical doctor. But what I've understood is when I meditate, I am perfectly all right. I just don't have any issues. And if I do have an issue, it's because I have a bad habit that has not left me. So it does leave you. I don't say it doesn't. You do come to the final point, but it's like a musician, Music, there's no end to it. There's always maybe एक श्रुति रह जाती है कहीं ना कहीं गाते गाते, and any great seer can catch it and tell you कि आपका जो है ना हल्का सा आप थोड़ा off tune चले गए. That is about our life. It's a very thin thread we are treading. And we could go off track here, we could go off track there, but then the Lord is very forgiving. So if you are able to surrender every time when you meditate, you can get that forgiveness. And once that forgiveness comes in your life, then your chakras are so balanced, they start to emanate the fourth dimension of your life, which is your self-realization. Correct. Your self-realization is complete when all your chakras are aligned and they are prasarit ho rahe hain. They are broadcasting themselves. Absolutely. The chakras are actually broadcasters. They broadcast a personality in you. True. You have a great personality. So if your chakras are clear, all these personality traits that I told you are in the chakras, they just start coming out. And you become a perfect human being. People look at you and they say, wow, why can't I be like this? So, and then the last, I will have to tell you, and you can, maybe next time we'll talk about the fifth dimension. We know of three dimensions. The fourth dimension is our self-realization. Yeah. And the fifth dimension is when you can transform the world. And what my movies are doing today is doing the fifth dimension. Very interesting. Very interesting. They're getting you to the fifth dimension because Mahalakshmi Path is where you will actually feel that you are responsible to change this world. We cannot just think about doing things just to satisfy our soul or our body, but we have to think of satisfying the overall interest of the Lord to see that His world survives in a much beautiful, loving, and a very healthy manner, that everybody lives like a family. And that is what happens in Sahaj Yoga. We practice it in about 180 countries, and we all look at each other as brothers and sisters. It is such a beautiful union where there is no boundary. It's all connected with the love of the divine, which is the Divine Mother. Well said. Sorry. Sanjay ji, on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for speaking to me. Your 20-odd minute commentary on the seven chakras had so much depth, so much knowledge, so much understanding, and then after that, you covered some fascinating relationships that are there with the Sahaj Yoga, with our chakras, and how our whole life and well-being is linked to these seven chakras, how important it is to awaken the chakras. And as you said so rightly, the day our seven chakras are aligned and awakened, that is really the ultimate self-realization that each one of us is seeking. Thank you so much for speaking to me, and all the very best to you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. God bless everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.